Green light for the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority to sell residential developments to help ease its financial woes. This year's DSE results are out. And Thai police, with the assistance of the FBI, investigate the cyanide poisoning of 6 Vietnamese in a Bangkok hotel. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. The West Kowloon Cultural District Authority has received the green light to sell some of the art hub's residential developments over a 10-year period. The area has an estimated value of around $15 billion. The conditional approval was given by the Chief Executive and Council, a move that's expected to help ease the cultural district's financial woes. The 170,000 square meter residential developments in Zone 2 of the Cultural Hub are now allowed to be sold by the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority. As part of the area has Harbour View, the land parcels are estimated to be worth around $15 billion. Under an original agreement, the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority was required to develop the area along with hotel and office sites through a build, operate and transfer model. That was an income-sharing arrangement with private developers, which aimed to provide the district's authority with a steady source of income down the road. But as of March this year, the body only has $5.2 billion in its net cash balance, which is expected to run out mid-next year. After 1 year of deliberations, the Chief Executive and Council gave conditional approval for the body to sell the residential sites and keep all the profits. That's expected to help the body stay afloat for the coming 10 years.
The current proposal is still making use of the 170,000 square meter residential property, but in a different way. Instead of having a constant stream of income in the many years in future, we are now cashing in for a lump sum upfront, which could help release the financial challenges.
Under the new funding arrangements, the body has to fulfill 4 conditions. The authority has to submit its tender schedules to the Development Bureau for approval and has to consult the Bureau on the mechanism for setting the reserve price. They should also strictly observe a number of key performance indicators on financial discipline set by the government.
If the government does not approve our plan, then we will have to think of more drastic measures in order to control our costs.
And with the imminent depletion of cash flows next year and the tendering process set to take some time,
we will also think of new ways to make money.
They include boosting rental income. Simon Lee, an academic in business studies, said the district has missed the best time to sell the site given the more sluggish property market now. He said the long-term strategy for the art hub should not be on selling its property, but to promote the overall cultural atmosphere in the city so more visitors could support the ticketing and other cultural events at the district. Results for this year's Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education Examination, or Hong Kong DSE, were released today. Around 43% of the over 40,000 day school students who took the exams met the requirements to enter into the city's publicly funded universities. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Tens of thousands of students across Hong Kong were on the edge of their seats today, waiting for the results that could determine their academic future. At Pre-Q College in Sha Tin, many wept from joy after finding out their scores. This student said the score she achieved in her top 5 subjects should be sufficient to get her into her desired university programs of English education or social science. While this student says she initially thought she would perform badly in English, but managed to get a top grade. But not all were satisfied with the results. This student was disappointed with the results, saying that her score prevented her from studying at her top choice university. This year, more than 17,600 daytime secondary school students met the minimum requirement of securing a place in the city's 8 publicly funded universities. Besides the 13,000 bachelor degrees under the Joint University Programs Admission System, many students apply for self-funded undergraduate programs as well as associate degrees. Simon Ho, president of Hang Seng University, said it already received over 7,000 applications, which is a 60% increase compared with last year. Chief Executive John Lee encouraged students on social media, emphasizing that they will have abundant opportunities in the future no matter their DSE exam results. Secretary for Education Christine Choi stressed the importance for students to follow their dreams. Meanwhile, 10 students, 8 male and 2 female, have achieved top scores in their DSE exams, having attained 5 double stars in 6 subjects, as well as an A in citizenship and social development. They mostly include students from elite schools, such as St. Paul's Coeducational College or LaSalle College, but there was also a top student from the Hong Kong Chinese Women's Club College in Sai Wan Ho. Some of them said they intend to study subjects such as medicine and economics, in a bid to benefit Hong Kong society. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The youngest candidate at this year's Hong Kong DSE is only 9 years old, studying in primary school, and is particularly talented in mathematics. He clinched the highest level of 5 double star in the aesthetic math paper. 9-year-old Leung Chi-yan not only skipped 1 grade to study primary 4 at the Hong Kong Baptist University affiliated school Wong Kam Fai Secondary and Primary School, he also took the Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education exams 9 years early. At the DSE, he attained the highest level of 5 double star in Module 2 of the Mathematics Extended Part on Algebra and Calculus, and level 5 star in the math paper. Chi-yan said during the COVID pandemic, he didn't have to attend school in person, so he watched YouTube videos about the DSE math exams and asked his parents if he could sit the test. And the rest is history. Since kindergarten, his parents noticed Chi-yan's talent. But he did not enjoy his time studying at traditional elite schools and even changed schools twice. Chi-yan said his current school allows him to take secondary 5 to 6 math classes, which are much more fun. He added that he wants to contribute to society through teaching and research work as a mathematician in the future. So how does the family raise a child math prodigy? His parents said they just give as much support as possible to whatever their son likes and excels at, and won't worry too much about whether the path is promising in worldly terms. Thai police said on Wednesday that cyanide poisoning was likely to be the cause of the death of 6 Vietnamese guests in a luxury hotel in downtown Bangkok. The suspected killer was among the dead. Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin told reporters that the incident would not affect tourism in the country and that the FBI also took part in the investigation as 2 of the victims held American citizenship. Danny Zhou has the story.
6 Vietnamese, 3 men and 3 women aged between 37 and 56, were found dead in a suite at the Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel in the Thai capital yesterday. Large numbers of police were posted in the doorway all night. A guest said she was not notified by the hotel of the case. According to media reports, the 6 had booked several rooms during the weekend. They were last seen alive in a suite on the 5th floor Monday afternoon and failed to check out on time. No one was seen leaving the room, which was locked from the inside. Their bodies were discovered by a hotel maid at 5:30 p.m. yesterday. At a news conference, Thai police said there were no signs of struggle or robbery. Food ordered by room service was found untouched, and deadly cyanide was found on all the 6 cups and the teapot in the room. Cyanide poisoning is believed to be the cause of their death. The police were convinced that one of the 6 dead used it to poison the others and later committed suicide. And conflict over multi-million baht investment could be the motive behind the killings. Police suggested it was not a mass suicide because the bodies were scattered around the room, the luggage already packed, and some victims had made arrangements for future trips. The results of an autopsy were expected within the next day. The victims were identified as 2 Vietnamese Americans and 4 Vietnamese nationals. The Vietnamese embassy in Bangkok was closely coordinating with Thai authorities in the investigation. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department said it was monitoring the situation and the FBI had stepped in to assist the probe. Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin assured the public that Thailand is safe, saying it was an isolated case and wasn't an act of terrorism or a breach of security. Danny Zhou, TVB News.
Former opponents of Donald Trump lined up to praise him at the Republican National Convention in the United States. Nikki Haley, Trump's fiercest opponent in the party until recently, was among those to praise the presidential nominee. David Garrett has more.
A mixed response to the arrival of Nikki Haley at the RNC in Milwaukee, the woman who was until quite recently Donald Trump's toughest competitor from within the party, and not always a welcome one, entered to endorse him.
My fellow Republicans, President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity. I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
Trump and the Republicans stood in unison. Haley said she knew of many who don't like Trump policies and that she had been one of them.
I haven't always agreed with President Trump, but we agree more often than we disagree. We agree on keeping America strong. We agree on keeping America safe. And we agree that Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're putting our freedoms in danger.
Haley's comments hitting the right note.
Nikki just was unifying the party tonight. She did a great job. I think she'll have a place in the administration. I think we're all coming together. We're going to dominate and knock out, be it Biden or whoever they put up. Again,
Haley gets behind Trump, who lost the last election for Republicans. Another previous adversary, Ron DeSantis, spoke up for Trump for the first time. The Florida governor says Trump deserves a second chance.
Now, Donald Trump stands in their way, and he stands up for America. Donald Trump has been demonized. He's been sued. He's been prosecuted, and he nearly lost his life. We cannot let him down, and we cannot let America down. My fellow Republicans, let's send Joe Biden back to his basement, and let's send Donald Trump back to the White House.
There are 2 more days of political fervour to follow. Wednesday sees J.D. Vance take the stage. The Ohio senator will introduce himself to a national primetime TV audience. At 39, Trump's pick for vice president is already being touted as a future president. He could well build on the theme prevailing over the RNC. Republicans say Biden is turning the country into a global laughingstock. Vance will likely set an agenda of America first and US global strength. David Garrett, TVB News.
And still ahead, EU countries divided on tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles in a non-binding vote. And this year's Hong Kong Book Fair gets underway. A court in Kenya has allowed police to detain for 30 days a man suspected of killing and dismembering women before dumping their bodies in a flooded quarry. The suspect appeared in court Tuesday after 10 dismembered bodies of women were found in a quarry in Nairobi. Police said the 33-year-old man had confessed to killing 42 women since 2022, including his wife. Police gave no evidence to support his claim of the killings, but said they found several smartphones and identity cards in his house, a short walk away from the quarry. Police said the bodies were discovered after a relative of one missing woman claimed to have had a dream in which she directed them to search the quarry. A local diver discovered the bodies wrapped in sacks. EU governments are split on whether to impose import tariffs on China-built electric vehicles. A disagreement in the bloc has been exposed as more information leaks out following Monday's non-binding but influential vote. Sources say a dozen members voted for the tariffs, 4 opposed them, and 11 abstained. The EU Commission will take this into account when deciding whether to move forward with a plan to put provisional tariffs of up to 37% on Chinese EVs. If the Commission moves ahead, a binding vote would follow. Tariffs will be imposed unless a qualified majority of 15 countries, representing 65% of the EU population, vote against. In Monday's vote, it's understood that France, Italy, and Spain supported tariffs. Germany, Finland, and Sweden abstained. If the advisory voting pattern were repeated at the final vote, definitive duties would then enter into force. Although abstention shows several countries are wavering, with Beijing threatening countermeasures. CLP Power was criticized following several cases involving unstable electricity supply in the first half of the year. The electricity supplier said it will roll out several measures to address the issues. The government had earlier demanded CLP Power to pay for an independent investigation into the power outage incidents conducted by the Electrical and Mechanical Services Department. The electricity company gave an update today, saying it will install more than 100 lightning rods in the next 1 to 2 years, as well as waterproof facilities at 200 power stations. CLP said it is also working with tech companies to manufacture artificial intelligence cameras to monitor the smooth operation of power lines and stations. The 34th Hong Kong Book Fair opened today and will run for 7 days. Apart from being a popular event among local and mainland book lovers, it is also an important platform for international book merchants. Helen Chen reports.
The annual Hong Kong Book Fair commenced at the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center today. Hundreds of people queued up even before the doors opened. This man arrived at the venue at 5 a.m. in order to get an autographed copy of a famous Hong Kong author.
Do not run.
Once the doors opened, people rushed to enter the fair in search of their favorite books. Some young readers even broke open their piggy bank for the occasion. This student said he saved up for a whole year and plans to buy about $200 to $300 worth of books. While more and more Hong Kongers have been going north to spend money on the other side of the border, the book fair has attracted book lovers from the mainland. Mr. Huang came from Guangdong province.
I come there 10 years ago. Have many bookstore. 10 years ago, no many than now.
At the same time, the book fair also attracted much attention internationally. Maria flew in from India for the occasion.
We wanted to check out the children's book fair. We are publishers from India, children's book publishers, so we just wanted to know what kind of books work in the Hong Kong markets.
This exhibitor came from the United States.
For the book fairs, Hong Kong is our number one choice. It's a melting pot of cultures. So yeah, we have the Beijing market here, we have the Korean market here, and we also have the local market as well as the greater Bay Area.
This year, the adult ticket for the Hong Kong Book Fair remains unchanged at $30. But visitors who enter before 12 noon and pay with their octopus cards can enjoy a discounted entry fee of $10. Helen Chen, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.